What's up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog. A sweet historic list for you guys. This one we're taking a look at a Gruul list that's kind of built around Sarkhan's Unsealing and all the fantastic trample creatures we have in Gruul colors. So to review, Sarkhan's Unsealing is a 4 mana enchantment, 3 in red. Whenever you cast a creature spell with power 4, 5, or 6, Sarkhan's Unsealing deals 4 damage to any target. And whenever you cast a creature spell with power 7 or greater, Unsealing deals 4 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. So just kind of a fantastic way to deal damage to all of your opponent's things if you have creatures with power 7 or greater. And even just having power 4 or greater, having to almost like haste, you can kind of play a 4 power creature, have Unsealing deal 4 damage to your opponent, and just by casting it. So that's pretty fantastic. And we have plenty of efficient 7-powered creatures as well that we're going to be running here. But let's start with the 4 copies of Paradise Druid. It's a 2/1, of course, hexproof, tap for 1 mana of any color. Bonecrusher Giant here. It's a 4-powered creature, and of course the Stomp side dealing 2 damage to any target. Lovestruck Beast, a 5-power creature for 3 mana. It's fantastic, and also has the adventure side to make a 1/1 human creature token. Gruul Spellbreaker. Of course, it is a 3/3, so even if we choose to put a +1 counter on it, it does not trigger Unsealing because it is only a 3-powered creature. And then it will get the +1 counter as it enters. So that's a little bit too late for the Unsealing. However, of course, it's just a fantastic creature in Gruul colors. Inferno Hellion, though, is a 7-powered creature with Trample, so this will deal 4 damage to everything on your opponent's side of the board if you have an Unsealing out, so kind of a one-sided board wipe. However, at the beginning of your end step, if it attacked or blocked, its owner shuffles it back into their library. So you do get the 7 trample coming through on your attack step, but then even if they don't block it, it just shuffles back into your library. Of course, it only has 3 toughness, so it's pretty easy for your opponent to kill. But just being able to have a 4 mana 7-power creature is fantastic. Gemrazer here as a 4-power creature. We can also mutate this and to destroy an artifact or enchantment on our opponent's side. And then, of course, it has Reach and Trample. Questing Beast, of course, is a 4-powered creature for 4 mana. Vidon's Death Chased. Too much text box to read. A couple copies here of Proud Wildbonder. Another 4-powered creature. Also has Trample, and creatures with Trample you may have this creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. So it's a fantastic way to kind of close out the game. And of course we have the big boy here, Quartzwood Crasher, 5 mana 6/6 Trample. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control with Trample deal combat damage to a player, create an XX green dinosaur beast token with Trample, where X is the total amount of damage those creatures dealt to that player. And finally here at our top end here is the 2 copies of Zilortha, Strength Incarnate, aka Godzilla King of Monsters. So it's a 7-powered trample. Lethal damage dealt to creatures you control is determined by their power rather than their toughness. So that works fantastic, of course, with the Inferno Hellion, Paradise Druid, Bonecrusher Giant, and Proud Wildbonder, etc., as their power is all higher than their toughness. Of course, it is legendary, and it's 5 mana, so we're just running just the 2 copies. Okay, super simple hill with mana base, 8 mountains, 8 forests, 4 Rootbound Crag, and 4 Stomping Ground. So a total of 24 lands. We do have the Paradise Druids to kind of help us speed up the clock a little bit on some of our bigger spells. And our curve does top out at 5 anyway, so we don't really need to run more than 24. Sideboard here, we got 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Soul Guide Lantern, 2 Robber of the Rich is another way for us to kind of go aggro against like more controlling decks and things like that. So get off to a little bit of a faster start and put more pressure on them. 2 Rampaging Ferocidons, shutting down life gain and also punishing go wide strategies as well. As 3/3 menace, players can't gain life. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield, Rampaging Ferocidon deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. And also have the 1 copy here of Klothys, God of Destiny. It's a 3 mana 4/5 indestructible. So this will trigger our Unsealing because when it's in our hand and when we cast it, it does count as a creature. But then once it's on the battlefield, that's when it checks for Devotion. Then, of course, we can use it to ramp by exiling a land card, or we can exile anything else from a graveyard to gain 2 life and deal 2 damage to each opponent. So just kind of a nice utility card here, running here as a 1 of. 2 more copies of Gemrazer for the artifact and enchantment hate. 2 copies of Carnage Tyrant for the control matchups, as it's a 7/6 for 6 mana, so that 7 power, of course, is key with the Unsealing. Trample hexproof and cannot be countered. And then finally, 2 copies of Purphoros' Intervention when we need some hard removal to deal twice X damage to a creature or planeswalker. Or we can just create an X1 red elemental creature token with Trample and Haste. Alright, that's basically the deck, and let's jump into some best of 3 and see how we do. Alright. Hope you guys are up against Zesperdorf. I'm gonna go first. It's an Umori deck, probably humans. Get our 1/1 down. Have Stomp open, and then Bonecrusher or Lovestruck Beast on 3. So the hand seems decent. Just waiting on our opponent. Still running the companion, even though they have to pay 3 just to get it into their hand. Before they can cast it. Alright. Opponent taking their sweet time. Get our 1/1 down. Temple of Malady. Attack the 1 and just hold open Stomp. Okay, enchantments. No Unsealing. We'll play a Lovestruck Beast, I guess. No attacks. Unsealing would be pretty amazing, but if they have the Cetessan champion, it might just be a little bit slower. Wow, so they just go for the Umori into their hand. We'll swing 5, play the Giant and the Stomping Ground. There's our 4th land. They can play Umori now. And they go for it. So the 5 toughness is a little tricky, but it is what it is. Oh, double Hellion. Swing 5. Okay, down goes Destiny Spinner. So we do have Trample now on the Hellion, 7 power. All said. And another Spinner. 3 mana open, 3 cards in hand. Helion, that's pretty nasty. We need to close this game out to like now before they start getting a bunch of value off of that. It's Quartzwood Crasher. And swing out. Okay, we lose our Bonecrusher Giants. Our Hellion, we trample through them. They lose most of their creatures except for Umori, and we get a 3/3. Another Alsaid. All the glitters, so they have 4 lifelinks. They're effectively at 8 here. That should do it. Deal damage as if they weren't blocked. And that's it. Alright, so Abzan enchantments. So obviously you want these Gemrazers. And Ferocidons. What do we take out here? Wildbonder came in clutch that time. Alright, so Ferocidon, let's just shave off Bonecrusher and Lovestruck Beast. And maybe just Zilortha here. I'll try like that. So hopefully the Ferocidon can show up and shut down any of their life gain. Obviously a Unsealing would be nice to see in our Sarkhan's Unsealing deck. Been taking their sweet time on these opening hands here. Don't love it, but you know, 2 Paradise Druids seems okay. I'll guarantee us a turn 3 play, regardless of whether we draw a land or not. So I guess it's decent. Fill passage to get an A forest. There's our Unsealing. Just need some lands here. Castle Ardenvale. So we probably just Paradise Druid here, unless we draw a land, and we can go to Unsealing. No land, no attacks. So we have 4 mana next turn for an Unsealing. It's a little slow, but our opponent's off to a slow start as well, so I think we're at least have a chance. I can attack for 2. There's a land finally. So Unsealing, and I'll swing at them for 2. They didn't play a land last turn for the Dryad. Once you play additional land, so we'll see if they have Seal Away. Wow. So we can Hellion or Gemrazer here. All said. Alright, let's just wipe the board. Seems pretty good. No play from our opponent. Let's Spellbreaker with haste. It's 12. They probably have another Seal Away here. So we hit them for 5. Yep, Seal Away on the Hellion. Opponent down to 9. Another Dryad. We'll go and play out both halves of this. Get rid of their 2/4 blocker. Swing 3. And then a pretty good board state. And we can still trigger our Unsealing next turn. All set, okay. Set their face. Got another seal away here, so we'll swing out. Sure, doesn't save you. All 3 seal aways. Alright, we got them. Sweet. So yeah, Abzan enchantments with Umori. It's a pretty solid deck. Oops. I don't know what those things even mean. Alright, up against Metro 1313. We do have our Unsealing. Some nice 2, 3, and 4 drops, so yeah, we'll keep. We're on the Stomping Ground, of course. We have Stomp open on turn 2. A mono red, yeah. Cool. You are a superior player. Let's just stomp that. And we can Spellbreaker on 3, make it a 4/4. Force him to have Lava Coil. And then we'll Unsealing, and yeah, hopefully find some nice juicy creatures from there. They attack, we'll definitely block. Okay, no attacks. So let me get this Unsealing down ASAP, and hopefully find a big creature. Nice 7-power creature to wipe the board next turn, please. No attacks. So we're going to be taking at least 3. Not sure why you hold the Firebrand back. I guess you just want to save it for later. Sure, you can shock it. Go for it. I don't really have a choice to not to block there. It's not ideal, but just need to keep their creatures off the board. So you get a free attack thanks to the Vigilance. So they're down to just a couple cards in hand, and we're still at 13, so we're doing okay. We have the Druid and the Giant next turn. This is just old school mono red. Not even adapted. Let's see here. So we have... we'll just cast it, pick off the Lava Runner. Swing 4. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop it down as a 5-powered, 5 toughness blocker and hit them for 4 more. So they're down to 8, and we've got a 8 power attacking them next turn. One of which they can't block, so. Alright. Getting there against mono red here in game 1. So we'll take in the Klothys for some life gain. Shave off a Spellbreaker. Drop Zilortha as a 5-drop for some more early interaction here with the intervention. And hopefully that's enough. Alright, try like that. So if we can just get another Unsealing and a 7-power creature, wipe their board, and that'll keep them off a lot of things. But now that they're going first, they will have a superior advantage. We do need a 3rd land. Triple Quartzwood Crasher. Do we really want to mulligan this? That sucks. We'll take a mulligan. I think having 3 of those is a little bit too much. We'll keep this, and I guess we'll drop the Crasher. So we want to keep our curve as low as possible. So we make a 1/1, we have Stomp open, and then hopefully find some lands from there. They're mono red going first, so they probably just win. No turn 1 play. Well, there's another Unsealing. I'm sure they have a shock here. Yep, they shock our token. Nope, leaving shock open for something else maybe. Runaway Steamkin, that's a perfect stomp target. As much as I want to get this Druid down, we do need to get rid of this Steamkin because that can get out of control. I'll just go and swing for one to show them who's boss, although we might be punished for it. A mono red player in Historic really reading these cards hard. Yeah, it can't attack if you kill my token. Firebrand, you can sack it to destroy my token? Nope, it's going for the attack. Oh, we missed our land drop, so we're not in a good spot. Might as well attack before they shock it. Just another Firebrand. Can't block, so we're taking 4. Wow, they do not attack with their Firebrands. That's kind of a misplay, I think. Still cannot find what we need here. Oh, we'll drop the 5/5. Yep, get rid of the Druid. Punish me for not finding lands. Oops, no attacks. They're probably running fewer lands than we are, but they have 3 and we have 2. They do expend 2 burn spells to kill our 5/5, so that's not bad. And no attacks. And we cannot find a land drop to save our life. I'll just stay black and just hope we find a land soon. Another Steamkin. Of course, it's a pain land, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Get some value out of this token. Oh, we have a Lightning Strike. They take 2, they hit for 3, down to 10. If we drew lands, we would have actually had a chance here, but we did not. Okay, there goes our token. Our 4th land when it's far too late. Kind of need a Hellion off the top here. And Lightning Strike. So not only did mono red get to go first, we were incredibly screwed on lands. So not much we could do there. Can't keep that. I think we'll... man, these 2 lands are brutal. Guess we'll put the Gemrazer away. Keep this, put the Gemrazer to the bottom. And make a 1/1 and stomp it next turn, and hopefully we keep drawing lands. Pretty frustrating game too, being stuck on lands and going second against mono red. We had a chance, but yeah, just could not find those lands in time. Okay, Lava Runner. We'll just hold open the Stomp in case they play a Steamkin. So we desperately need a third land, please. Just a Pyromancer. In that case, we'll go ahead and stomp this. The 1 toughness we can, in theory, block. Of course, it's a pain land. We'll get the Lovestruck Beast down just to have the 5 toughness. And next turn we can Bonecrusher or Spellbreaker. I'm just going to ping us away with these Pyromancers. Could play Druid there, but I think we just want another creature that can block for us. Firebrand, not too worried about that. Unsealing would be amazing off the top, please. Rootbound Crag. Which is Druid. We need to get that out there so we have more options. And we'll attack 5. It's a bit risky, but we do need to start putting pressure on the mono red player at some point. Okay, Steamkin. Land. So we don't have enough to cast both. We can cast 1 of these. So let's just cast the Crasher, just be mana efficient. I think we'll just keep crashing in for 5. And they take it. Alright, so down to 10. But they do have a pretty decent board state going. And they pack it in. Alright, so somehow got there against mono red. They do have a hard time dealing with bigger creatures, and yeah, it's a pretty fun game. Obviously, Unsealing is a little bit janky if you want to make it more competitive. Probably don't want to play Unsealing and just play more of a traditional Gruul list. But yeah, Unsealing is definitely one of my favorite cards. So I love playing around with stuff like this, and with all the support for Trample. Try to play around with some gen lists, and just you know, anytime you're playing 3 colors, the consistency can be a little bit off. But obviously, like the Rowdy Regisaur, a 7-power creature for 3 mana, is fantastic with Unsealing and things like that. So it's definitely something I've been playing around with a little bit. I might showcase it at some point on the channel. But I think this is just kind of a 2-color deck, really streamlined around you know, some of the adventurer cards that give you 4 and 5 power for 3 mana to trigger your Unsealing. And then obviously you still have the Inferno Hellion and things like that. So yeah, it's kind of a fun little deck. Definitely holds its own at the kind of the lower levels of competitive play, but obviously not something you're going to be ranking all the way up to Mythic with or anything like that. So if you're looking for a fun casual deck, definitely recommend giving it a try. And if you like the kind of overall archetype, you can definitely tweak it more to your advantage to focus on more on the Trample, or just make kind of a traditional Gruul list. So thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you jank with a purpose.